Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to share 10 items that have not sold on Poshmark. These are basically bad buys, items that I will not be grabbing again and don't necessarily recommend that you grab. All of these items were from the thrift store and have been listed for at least a year and have not sold yet on Poshmark. So these are essentially 10 items that I wish I would have just left behind at the thrift store and honestly just regret buying. Let's get into it. First up is this Ella Moss sleeveless knit top. I had bought this at Savers, which is a thrift store, for $6.83. And I listed this on January 17th, 2021. It's now August 2022, so it has been well over a year and a half and this item is not sold. So I 100% wish I just left this behind. Ella Moss isn't even a brand I really know. I definitely picked it up because I thought it was kind of a cute item, and it was only about a month into thrifting to resell, so there was a lot of lessons to learn at the beginning there. The item's just been sitting forever and has had maybe a little interest but nothing major, and it obviously hasn't sold, so wish I would have just left that one behind. The next item is this Kelly Clarkson band t-shirt. This one I also had bought around that same time back in January of 2021. I listed it on January 24th, 2021, and I had bought it for $4.82. Still hasn't sold. I also would not pick up a t-shirt for that price at this point, especially not one that's not gonna sell. So obviously hindsight is 2020, but spending almost $5 on a t-shirt that, you know, probably would sell for like 10 isn't a great buy at all. Wish I would have left that one behind. There's definitely a chance I would buy a band shirt to resell if it were at the Goodwill bins or somewhere where I'm not paying a ton and it's a more popular artist or band. That obviously wasn't a very popular, you know, band type of t-shirt, so I definitely should have left that one behind. Next up is this Nike full zip varsity jacket. This I had bought at Savers again for $7.49, and it still has not sold. I listed it on January 30th, 2021. I do think that some Nike items can sell. I've sold a couple like cowl neck sweatshirts and some Nike like workout pieces, but I think that this was just such a kind of basic and boring item, and I don't necessarily think those kind of jackets are super in these days. I don't know, let me know if you guys think they are, but I definitely wouldn't spend close to $8 on that again. Nike doesn't really resell for a lot, so that was not a great buy. I definitely wish I would have left that one behind as well, and I do think at some point, you know, that probably will sell, but I might even end up losing a little money on it based on how much I spent on it originally. So we'll see. Hopefully it does sell eventually, but I really do kind of regret buying that one. Next up is this Aritzia Wilfred merino wool cropped sweater. This is such a cute sweater. I really love the color of it. The problem with this sweater is I didn't realize at the time that I bought it that it was shrunken down. Someone I think had tried to wash it and then it shrunk the sweater since it's wool. So when I had picked it up, I thought it was just an extra small, which the size is, but it just looked so small. So I wish I would have known at the time that that meant it had shrunk in the wash. I have not sold it. It's been over a year and a half. I listed that one on February 24th, 2021, and I had spent $6.39 on it. So I did disclose in my listing on Poshmark once I realized that it is a shrunken sweater, that it's shrunken, but I mean, I can't really expect anyone to buy it. I think that's one that I probably should just redonate and move it out of my inventory because, you know, it probably won't sell, and that's just something that I now know to look for. If an item looks really shrunken and it's wool, it probably was washed and it shrunk it, and now it's not going to be the size that it says. Next is this Jenny U cocktail dress. This one I listed back on February 26th, 2021, and it still has not sold. I spent $11.19 on that. I think it was quite a bit of an older style, so it has not really received much attention, and it obviously hasn't sold. So not a great buy, and if I had a time machine, I would go back and leave that one behind. If I do find Jenny U again at some point and it's the newer tag and it's a more recent style, I will check comps and see and then potentially grab it. My next item that I wish I just left at the thrift store is this BB metallic gold makeup bag, and this one I had listed on April 4th, 2021. Still has not sold yet, and I had spent $4.79 on it. So that just like, man, that was not a good one. Oh well, it's all of these are like learning great experiences, and they were so early on in my thrifting to resell career that it's expected to, you know, have made mistakes or have ended up buying things that I wish I didn't. But this one is just kind of funny because I don't know why I spent $5 on a makeup bag that would probably sell for like $10 tops. Then you gotta factor in the reseller platform fee, any shipping costs, anything like that. So at the end of the day, once that does sell, I will hopefully break even at least. But I do typically now pass on stuff like that. If I found like a Madewell makeup bag or something at the bins and I spent $1 on it, totally different story. But to spend $5 on a makeup bag from BB, it didn't really, wasn't a good buy. That one also had a flaw in it, which I disclosed in the listing, but I think that also probably made it less appealing to potential buyers, so not a good buy. Next is this pair of either onesie or onesie purple high-waisted leggings. I had spent $5.99 on these at the thrift store, and I listed them on March 26th, 2021. I actually remember buying 2 pairs of leggings by this brand on that same day, and I believe they're both the same size small, but one pair was black and the other was purple, and the black leggings actually sold pretty quickly, and the purple leggings have not sold. I might just need to find a better cover photo for these because I don't have a great cover photo, so that could potentially help them sell, but you know, it's been like a year to 8 months, so I think we're just going to categorize that as a bad buy. Alright, next is this pair of Lucky Brand stiletto heels. And I had bought these at the thrift store for $6.39, and I listed them on May 21st, 2021. It's been well over a year and these have not sold. Heels with a block heel definitely seem to be doing a lot better than stiletto heels. With it not being a very current style, I think that's the main reason they're not selling, but I do kind of wish I just would have passed on those. A lot of these would have been made better if I had gotten them at the Goodwill outlet bins, but all of these were from an actual thrift store, so you kind of, you know, spend thrift store prices, and it makes it a little more painful when they're sitting because that's just money, you know, tied up in inventory. I think that's also why I am a lot more thoughtful over the last year or so, because I did have so many of those buys at the beginning that didn't lead to a sale or ended up either losing money on or kind of breaking even. So I am extremely picky at this point in time, and these are all examples as to why. Next up is this Cupcakes and Cashmere cold shoulder black long sleeve top. So I bought this at the thrift store for $5, and then I ended up listing it on July 12th, 2021, so just over a year ago, and it has not sold yet. I even have a pretty good stock photo for it on my listing, which I think helps show how it's worn. Cupcakes and Cashmere actually has never done well for me. I've only bought 2 items to resell and neither of them have sold, so that's just a brand that I don't necessarily recommend grabbing. I'm sure there are exceptions like there are to most things, but the experiences that I've had with that brand are not great. I think a combination of the style not being super on trend and the brand not being a great one to resell potentially is maybe why that hasn't sold. Hopefully at some point it does, but we'll see. All right, and then lastly is this pair of Victoria's Secret silk pajamas. And I had bought these at the thrift store for $5.19, and then I listed them on August 3rd of 2021, so basically exactly a year ago. I wish I would have left those behind. I have sold a few Victoria's Secret silk slip dresses. Those do really well in my experience, but for some reason these silk pajamas just have not sold, and they did have a couple like little nicks and I think flaws, so that's probably partially why. Definitely wish I would have left them, but what can you do? So in total, those items cost me $64.08, which is just tied up in inventory and just they've not moved. So I'm hoping they do at some point soon, but I'm not gonna hold my breath just because they clearly are not majorly desirable items. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave your bad buys and your items that have been sitting for a long time down below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.